Everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. It is summertime, so I'm going to try to be as real as possible. Let's say you're a mom or a grandma and you're out by the pool. The kids are still home from school in most places. We're going to start real soon here in Florida. But let's say we want something sweet and tempting, but we don't want to go to like pudding snacks and things like that that are completely processed and inflammatory. Doesn't matter how young you are, children are becoming sicker and sicker every year. So I am a functional and integrative health coach first with a passion to cook. So if you're here, you love cooking, but you want to have the power to be able to, and confidence to change recipes and to use your innate cooking skills to make something healthy and delicious, right? So my biggest passion is to turn healthy into an easy and empowering lifestyle. That's where it's come to me. No longer diet, counting any calories, counting your macros. I mean, gosh, this is awful. If you're on Weight Watchers, you're counting points. It is terrible. It is too much work. So I teach people how to turn the body so that it's working for you. But we do need alternatives when it comes to sweets. You know, I talk about that here. I also make delicious, simple, high dense nutrient food, of course. Now, you see me talk about my cookbook. We're going to be doing black rice pudding. Okay, super cool, right? And difference. You know, in my cookbook, I have two recipes here. So in the back, after I get through explaining about the major meridians and food that helps speak to them, of course, I have a section of desserts and other things. When I was younger, and most kids love cooking desserts because we all love the sweet, right? We love the dopamine rush. Tapioca pudding. I've changed it so it's not fully inflammatory. Yes, sugar and dairy tends to gunk up your lymphatic system. It is horrible for the spleen and how the spleen works. We're entering into spleen season as of the Lion's Gate. So we want to be wary of that. And how do we change these recipes and make them still taste great? That's what I excel at. That's what I love doing. And also, why would you want to use black rice? Well, black rice is in the kidney section of my book because the kidneys, two filtering organs, super important in the body, love the antioxidants of the dark blueberries and foods. Okay, so yes, that's why it's called the emperor's rice. The emperor reserved it because they knew the power of the antioxidants and the power that those relate to the cells. Remember, their cells are programmed to heal and repair, but they need the tools to do their job. Unfortunately, in the ultra processed world we are living in, when over 70% of the food is ultra processed, we're not giving the cells what they need. In fact, the cells are being damaged. The mitochondria is being damaged. That's why people don't have energy, and disease and chronic disease will follow. So mainly we're removing the inflammation, we're increasing the antioxidants and the nutrients. So what we're going to start with is understanding that with sticky rice, you're going to use a little bit less fluid. But I like to make this super easy. So I'm starting with this. This is organic heavy coconut cream. Now, actually, this has actually got less saturated fat than the simple coconut cream that I use without guar gum. Never buy coconut milk with guar gum. Sounds like it could be okay, but the body doesn't like guar gum. Your gut lining, the small cells in the gut are so sensitive to all of these thickeners and agents and additives and preservatives. We have to remove them. And trust me, when you get used to it, the difference, you can taste and tell the difference. So we're going to soak, just like I soak the tapioca for a half hour before I cook, we're going to soak the rice in the coconut milk prior to turning this on to cook. So I'm going to be coming back. One of the best pans to use, I love the all-clad copper core. Yes, it's an investment, but the cooking is even. It is a high-quality pan. You can give it to your grandchildren. That's how great it is. So we're going to use 3/4 of a cup of black rice. We're going to put an entire can in here, and we're going to fill, instead of measuring water, we're going to fill this up half full, just about. So we're going to rinse the can out kind of. And that way you don't have to dirty another measuring cup. Getting a little bit more water in here. Okay, just swirl that around. Okay, that's all the liquid we need. Super easy, no measuring, right? We like it to be as easy as possible because we really want kids to get involved with us. So let's measure out 3/4 of a cup of black rice. Buy the organic, I like the organic Lotus. How much did I just put in here? Okay, one more. I like the organic Lotus brand black rice. There's different types. Just try to get the best quality. Buy it when it's on sale. Keep it in a beautiful jar, and that way you have it. So we're going to put this together. And the other thing that we're going to add to let it soak is a vanilla bean. That's right. So we're going to cook this in a vanilla bean. So yummy. Your whole kitchen smells great. You've seen me cook up dates with a vanilla bean when I was making a date paste for different little baked little raw goodies. So we're going to put that in there, and we're going to let this sit for a half hour. So while this is sitting, let's say you're out by the pool, you're in, well, you could make a lunch, and then let the kids help you make the dessert, because stirring it is fun, and then eating it warm with some fresh mango or peaches is the way to go. Okay, we're going to be adding maple syrup to this as a sweetener. It is much sweeter than sugar. So a 1/4 cup of sugar is about, I like to go under a little bit, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. It's all you need to replace 1/4 cup of white cane sugar, which I don't use. I prefer to use nature sources, not refined sources that will spike blood sugar much more quickly. Okay. Let's say you have any sugar issues. Well, that black rice is going to, any carbs always convert to sugar, right? And so you might want to reduce that amount of maple syrup even more. Okay. So let's let this sit. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll come back. I'll get my apron on and we'll get to town. Thanks for tuning in. Hey everyone, we are back, and the black rice, we're going to be making a sticky sweet black rice pudding. So that's deep color, kind of purple. It's going to be super fun for kids, maybe different for you. Everything is white like tapioca. We're getting more antioxidants. We're changing it up. It's been soaking for over 30 minutes. And during that time, I was able to have a super delicious lunch. I have my sprouted walnut burgers, sprouted lentil walnut burgers, and greens and homemade dressing. You know, when you have stuff in your refrigerator that's already prepped, it makes it so easy. My homemade croutons, you name it, grounded up pumpkin seeds. It was delicious. I feel great. And now we're going to have some fun making this. Now, what we have to do now is bring this to a boil and then lower it to simmer. We're going to get the maple syrup in there now. This is a 2 tablespoon measuring. I love these measuring spoons. You can get them at Williams Sonoma. They're going to have the odd sizes, like 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, not just the standard ones. Nice and sturdy. So you might want to invest in these. These are really, really great. Okay, so a full 2 tablespoons. And remember, that maple syrup is natural sap from a tree. You're going to have minerals in there that are not just plain refined sugar. You've got our bean, our vanilla bean in here. When this comes to a boil, we're going to be simmering it for at least 50 minutes, okay? And we're going to be stirring it in between. And let's get the cover on there. So we'll be back when it comes to a boil, and we're going to be turning it down You don't want to just leave it, and you definitely want to put it on simmer so that you don't burn parts of it. So we're going to watch that, but this is going to be super fun. It's a new, different version to a pudding type of a recipe, and we're going to top it with some fresh fruit, which is so prevalent during the summertime, especially peaches. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're having fun here. I'm trying to find pause. Okay. So it's only going to take about 4 minutes to bring this to a boil. So you might want to set a timer like I just did, just in case you're getting busy. And now we're going to turn this down. And this is when it's going to start to smell really amazing in the house, because you're going to smell that vanilla bean doing its wonders. Okay. And even if you have to set that timer for every 10 minutes or so, so you can check, that is fine. So this is turned down. And we'll be back when it gets nice and thick. Hey there, we're doing great. And it's been 40 minutes. Setting the timer every 10 minutes is perfect. And this process is absolutely perfect to teach you or your children that good things can come when you're patient, when everything is instant gratification today. But this is what the emperors celebrated. The black rice, this is different, this is special. It is getting thicker here, so we only have a little bit more time left, and we will be back when it's done. But it's smelling delicious and it's looking delicious, and this is the reward that we get. So we're at the very sticky last part of it. So it's looking really good, right? So this is where we're going to take the cover off. And at this time, I'm going to add a little bit of warming ginger on a microplane. I just peeled the end of this ginger root just a tiny bit. So we've got some sweetness, we've got savory. You know, this rice is loaded with what they call anthocyanins. So it's the same antioxidant. You can educate your children, a little bit of fun, that blueberries have. So this is wonderful. You see, we've got a little bit of ginger root here on the back side. So let's just get that added. Little sweetness from the vanilla, the maple syrup. So a little hint of that. So I've got fresh peaches now. They're on sale. They're in season. So you want to make sure you're getting organic peaches. They are on the Dirty Dozen list, which means they tend to have a large amount of pesticides and herbicides. Now, some of those in combination are even worse than just on their own. So yes, we do need to pay attention to buying organic, because those chemicals are the very things that destroy your cells. Everything starts at the cellular level, all function, all dysfunction, all chronic disease, all inflammation. So we want to get that taken care of. You can leave the skin on if you want. I actually clean them first. I scrub them up a little bit, but I'm just going to take the peel off. Very easy to do, just like you're peeling an apple. And then we're just going to go about slicing it. If you want to buy already frozen peaches, organic frozen peaches, you can thaw them out and make like a little sauce with those. We're just going to peel up some fresh ones. That'll make everything go quicker. But toward the end of this recipe, you're going to want to prepare your toppings, because this is going to be really great eaten warm. So, and you waited a little while for this to be done. Now, the tapioca pudding recipe in my cookbook, Simple Cooking for Vitality, tapioca, the small kernel or whatever, the small grain tapioca, it's going to cook quicker, so you'll have your satisfaction a little quicker. But it's really great to be really patient and to be involved in the process. That's one of my passions about getting people back into the kitchen, is connecting with what you are doing. You're just a simple thing of slicing up some beautiful peaches is relaxing. Okay, so I just have down a little wet board here over my cutting board so it doesn't get too wet. You know, a really great way, I clean my cutting board and I reseal it often. A really great way to do that because I love really hard, high quality cutting boards made of maple. I just take my steamer on my flat iron and I steam it and wipe it down. And that kills off everything. And then I reseal it with the boost board board sealer, which is perfect. You just don't want to get your board, you know, super wet, obviously. So things that are wet or juicy, I usually put down a board like this. And I would never cut meat ever on any of these boards. In fact, I have a special one that I would use just for that, but I never put raw meat on a board. Just little things. Okay, that is still simmering, so it's getting nice and thick now that the cover is off. Get all these gorgeous peaches here. So we're going to get those into a bowl. I need a little bit bigger bowl. So hold on one second. I'll be right back with that. If I can find the little arrow here. Here, let me just grab it. It's right down here. So all these stackable bowls are perfect. You can get so many stacked up and they wash well. They're lightweight. Like I said, they do not break if they fall on the floor. So they are perfect prep bowls. You need many different sizes. You can even put a little bit of the fresh ginger root right into the peaches. Mango is another great selection. A lot of people have fresh mango trees, their own mango trees down here in Florida. So what a great use, because now you've got the bright yellow mixed with the black rice. It's a really great color composition. When I'm serving a white fish, I do a macadamia nut crusted cod or whitefish on a bed of black rice. The contrast is beautiful. And my pineapple mango salsa is a fantastic combination for that. A little bit of sweet, savory, beautiful colors. So we could sprinkle a tiny bit of sugar on here just to get it juicy, along with a little bit of sea salt. So we could use a date sugar, or we could use this. Usually have a little measuring spoon in here. This is the raw coconut sugar. You don't even need much. So this is just a few teaspoons sprinkled over the top, which is perfect. Okay, I am just going to get cleaned up here. There's Okay, let's get this rice pudding dessert put together. Actually, August 9th is National Rice Pudding Day. So the serving size is about no more than a half a cup of this. You can see because obviously got a decent amount of carbs here. And so put it in a beautiful little white dessert bowl. If you use a little quarter cup measure, you can measure this out. So this is going to make enough for at least 4 to 6 people. If you want to do a little bit less, and then see how beautiful these peaches look on top. So you could do a little bit less rice, a little bit more of the actual fruit. So what I love is a little sprinkle of cinnamon on my stuff. Delicious. So here we go. Look how fun and fabulous this is. Something new, something different, satisfying. It's going to have good fats, antioxidants. And I hope you enjoyed that. So thanks for tuning in on how we create and we alter recipes just to create something that's a little bit better for ourselves and for our body, but still creating that satisfaction that we're after when it comes to food. Thanks for tuning in today to KK's Fit Kitchen. Have an awesome night. If I can find the little button. Bye. Okay, we're still here. Okay, bye.